All praises to the Most High. Let's get some understanding Sunday. Let's get it.
Order, my kills are dead. Christ is sacrifice and judge. Remission from sins through the shedding of his blood. Dealing with other nations once an unlawful thing. Now we told the carnal man common or unclean. Order, my kills are dead. We got one high priest. John must decrease. Christ must increase. So iron can be released. The order can be deceased. So all sin can cease. So all can be in peace. Traumatized by the things we go through. Criticized for the things we don't do. Realize we not black, we Hebrew. Crucified the old man to become the new king. Killed, they won't spill his blood on the ground. We see that thou should not kill before the commandments came down. Evidence of killing, evidence of sinning, evidence of Melchizedek from the beginning. Sacrifices under Aaron, yeah, time was spent. But Melchizedek was back once the veil was written. The priesthood being changed, we see what we saw. That was made by necessity, a change of the law. Not dealing with other nations, judgment, animal sacrifice. Aaron had to go, cause it didn't suffice. Some people still practice Aaron, but they need to respect that we now under the order of Melchizedek. Order of Melchizedek. Christ is sacrifice and judge. Remission from sins through the shedding of his blood. Dealing with other nations once an unlawful thing. Now we told the carnal man common or unclean. Order of Melchizedek. We got one high priest. John must decrease. Christ must increase. So iron can be released. The order can be deceased. So all sin can cease. So all can be in peace. The law having a shadow of the things to come. But those sacrifices took away sin from none. See, the sacrifices didn't stop the nonsense, cause the sin was embedded in their conscience. Lusting after women, you taking your part and committing adultery already in heart. Some can't understand or just plain old blind that the order of Melchizedek checks your mind. No more being high priest, you can't find none better than the only begotten son after Melchizedek forever. Righteous, just, king of right. Definition of Melchizedek, Christ the light. Aaron is gone, Aaron is done. No longer the schoolmaster, cause faith is come. Hebrews 10 and 9 sums up the verse. He established the second and took away the first. Order of Melchizedek. Christ is sacrifice and judge. Remission from sins through the shedding of his blood. Dealing with other nations once an unlawful thing. Now we told the carnal man common or unclean. Order of Melchizedek. We got one high priest. John must decrease. Christ must increase. So iron can be released. The order can be deceased. So all sin can cease. So all can be in peace.
Baby. All right. One love, fam. Dropping everything out here. Peace. Thanks for joining another Get Some Understanding Sunday. Start right. Excuse me. Let's start right off with a prayer. Holy and most glorious and wonderful Father who art in the heights of the heavens, hallowed be thy majestic and beautiful and omnipotent name. Thy kingdom come, Father. Thy will be done on earth as it is in the heavens. Holy Father, please give us this day our daily bread. Please forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Please lead us to no temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, Father, the power and all of the glory, forever and forever. Holy Abba, thank you for all opportunities to gather and feast on your holy word. And of course, we have to thank you for your righteous instructions written and your pure, unblemished word made flesh. Holy Abba, please forgive us for our sins. Forgive us for the sins of our ancestors. And please forgive our ancestors for their sins. Holy Abba, those who are sick, shut in, and on their bed of affliction, Father, please just heal and make them whole in this very hour, that they may glorify your holy and wonderful name. Holy Abba, those who are locked up behind bars innocently, I pray that you let the prison gates open and they be able to walk out the very front door. Father, those who are widows and fatherless, households that don't have an image of strength to look upon, Father, please remind them that whatever power that image of strength would have held in their household comes from and belongs only to you, Father. Please remind them that their daily necessities are already provided for, that they may be able to serve you with a unladen heart. The necessities of life sometimes laden our hearts so much that we aren't able to focus on your holy word, Father. Those necessities that fatherless children and widows, households that don't have an image of strength to look to and to hold and to touch and to see, Father, please, Father, remind and provide them of their necessities. Holy Abba, please let our flight not be in the winter. Let it not be on the Shabbat. Let us not be with young or suckling children at the time. Whatever I haven't prayed for, whatever I've missed in my prayer, Holy Abba, please just allow my spirit to present that supplication before your holy, pure, and wonderful presence. Holy Abba, everything that I have said out of my mouth is prayed and praised and glorified, all in the name of your holy and only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, Yahawashai, Yeshaya, very many names for salvation and redemption. Salvation and redemption. Amen, amen, and amen. Hallelujah. One love, family. Sorry. One love, family. Thank you for joining another Get Some Understanding Sunday. I want to apologize for not being able to upload last week. Last week I actually recorded on 2 different devices. I wasn't able to upload on any of them. One of them cut the recording almost completely in half, and the other one was just unreliable as far as upload is concerned. So I'm going to take steps to rectify things like that in the future, and hopefully what I've done this week is going to patch it up for the time being, and hopefully I'll be able to upload this and y'all be able to see the lesson. And what I'm actually going to do is redo the lesson that I did last week, which I wasn't able to upload, so that the chronology can stay the chronology can stay ongoing, so we don't miss or skip any gaps where there's information provided. I want to be able to read that information into the record and show that that chronological period of time is covered in a particular testament. But before we get to any of that, the script of the week. This week's script of the week comes from the book of John, not 1st, 2nd, or 3rd John, but just the book of John. John the prophet, you say Matthew, Mark, not John the prophet. Well, I guess you could say he was a prophet, but John the disciple. Like you have the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So of the 4 Gospels, John is the last. And I wanted to read John 19, the first 16 chapters. Excuse me. I wanted to read John 19, the first 16 verses. And the reason for that is, one of the issues with the name Jesus Christ is the connection to the image of Caesar Borgia. So we have attached the name Jesus Christ to the image of Caesar Borgia, and that is a huge obstacle for many people, even who call themselves Hebrew Israelites. For many people, that the image being connected to the name is a huge obstacle. And instead of simply disassociating those 2 things from each other, because they're not associated at all, the name Jesus Christ and the image of Caesar Borgia are 2 completely separate things, and the only reason they're associated is because of a pope, of a papal edict, right? And if you remove that papal edict and disassociate the image of Caesar Borgia from the name Jesus Christ, it will be extremely beneficial. But I believe John chapter 19 in the first 16 verses holds the reason why Caesar Borgia's image was connected to the name Jesus Christ, or why the image of Caesar has become so important to any of us, to anyone at all. Okay, let's read it. John chapter 19, the first 16 verses. Then Pilate therefore took Jesus and scourged him, meaning Pontius Pilate, when he had Jesus, and he beat him half to death, right? Beat him real bad. Beat him bad. Okay? Then verse 2 continues to say, and the soldiers plaited a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they put on him a purple robe and said, Hail, King of the Jews! And they smote him with their hands. So they beat him up, they dressed him up, mocked him, and slapped him around. Right? That's in the first three verses. Let's continue reading what these Romans did to the Messiah after the Jews, after my ancestors, gave him up. Let's read verse 4. Pilate therefore went forth again and said unto them, this is Pilate presenting himself to a crowd of high priests and Sadducees and Pharisees and people of import in our nation. And this is what Pilate is saying. Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. No fault Pilate found. So Pilate found Jesus Christ to be a completely innocent man. Let's keep reading. Verse 5. Then came Jesus forth, wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. And Pilate saith unto them, Behold the man. Look at him. Look what I've done to him. We done beat him half to death. He can't even stand up. Look at him. Let's continue to read. Verse 6. When the chief priests, therefore, and officers saw him, they cried out. Who saw him? The chief priests and officers. These are big time, muckety mucks, big eyes, no little U's. All big eyes. Talking like this. Let's see what they said. They cried out, saying, Crucify him! Crucify him! Pilate saith unto them, Take ye him, and crucify him, for I find no fault in him. So they saying to Pilate, yo, kill him. He got to die, kill him. Pilate said, why don't y'all kill him? How come you bringing him to me to kill him? Why don't you kill him? You take him and crucify him. Let's see what the Jews say in response. The Jews answered him, We have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the Son of God. Whoa! They didn't say, oh yeah, no doubt, we'll take him and kill him. They said, nah, Pilate, you kill him, right? Because we got a law that say he's supposed to die. This is a Jewish law that say if you make yourself the Son of God, you're supposed to die. This is not a Roman law. This is a Hebrew Israelite law. This is not a Caucasian law. Excuse me. Why? It's all good. Let's just keep reading. Once again, we're getting the reasoning behind, number one, the biggest reason why we are in the position and condition we are in as a people. My people, as Hebrew Israelites, as the real and true blood-born, bought people of the Most High. Why we are in the position and condition that we are in right now as a people. Why did we have to go through so long of of this oppression and captivity and just ridiculous subjugation. Why? A question that I don't think any black person hasn't asked themselves this question. Why? Read John 19, and this is the reason why. Not just the Old Testament where it say we broke our law, statutes, and commandments when we were in the kingdom, when we were in the promised land. We also, when God sent his holy and only begotten Son to correct our behavior, we gave him up to death. Let's keep reading. That's one reason. Also, the second reason why I believe Caesar is so important to us as people who believe in the Son of the living Creator. The number one person anybody wants to attach the image to this name, the image is Caesar Borgia's image. Why Caesar? Let's read. Let's keep reading, and we'll find out why. I believe we're in verse 9. Yeah, let's read verse 8 from the top. When Pilate, therefore, I don't even think I read verse 8. Verse 8, I apologize, verse 8. When Pilate, therefore, heard that saying, he was more afraid. When he heard that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, or he was saying he was the Son of God, and that's why these people wanted to kill him. These Jews want to kill this man because he said that he's the Son of God, and I find no fault in him. He's not lying about that. Pilate became very conscious of that fact at this moment. Man, this dude, I found no fault in him, and they brought him here because he's saying he's the Son of God? What? Wait a minute. Let's keep reading though. Verse 9. And went again into the judgment hall, and saith unto Yeshua, Whence art thou? Where you from, bruh? But Jesus gave him no answer. Then saith Pilate unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee, and have power to release thee? Jesus answered, Psh. Yeshua was like, Psh. Verse 11. Yeshua said, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore, he that delivered me unto thee hath the greater sin. You hear what Jesus just said? Yo, man, you gonna do whatever my pops gave you power to do. I ain't even worried about you. Honestly, I'm still tripping off of these individuals who gave me up to you and who's talking about crucify me. I'm tripping off of these people right here. It's bugging me right now. Not that you talking to me, you Roman ridiculousness, talking to me like you got some type of power around here. Nah, I'm tripping off of my people. Let's get back to this reading, because it's important that we understand why Caesar, why the image of Caesar has become so paramount to so many people. But let's keep reading. Verse 12. And from thenceforth Pilate sought to release Jesus. Pilate sought to let Jesus go the best he could. He's like, yo, man, he ain't lying. I done beat him, ridiculed him, slapped him, or everything that we could do to find out the innocence of a person I've done to this man. He's definitely innocent. They brought him here for me to kill him based on the fact that he said he's the Son of God. Pilate, after that, was like, yo, I need to let this man go. I have to try my best to let him go. But you know how Pilate tried to let him? He tried to give, the Barabbas thing. That was Pilate's best idea. Yeah, man, let me kill Barabbas and we can give Jesus, free Jesus. They said, no, give us Barabbas and kill. Anyway, let's get back to Caesar. Let's get back to Caesar. That's the problem, right? Verse 12 from the top. From thenceforth Pilate sought to release him, but the Jews cried out, Who cried out? The Jews. The Hebrew Israelites cried out, saying, if thou let this man go, thou art not Caesar's friend. Whose friend you not? Whosoever maketh himself a king speaketh against Caesar. Why are they so worried about who's Caesar right now? I know Caesar is the king of Rome and the individual who's the leader of the country that has you in captivity at this point. But you don't believe. Listen, once again, they are giving up the Son of the living Creator for Caesar. They like, yo, man, we not about this king. We're about this king. We're not about King Yahushai. We're about King Caesar. Now do you understand how and why everybody, we looking to a Caesar now? We looking at Caesar Borgia now like he the king? Let's keep reading, fam. I got 3 more verses to read. Verse 13. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Jesus forth and sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called the pavement, but in Hebrew, Gabbatha. Pilate brought Jesus and sat down in front of him. Sat down. Pilate did this. Let's keep reading, bro. 14. And it was the preparation of the Passover, and about the 6th hour. And he saith unto the Jews, behold, your king. But they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, shall I crucify the king? The chief priests answered, we have no king but Caesar. What? We have no king but Caesar. Then delivered he him therefore unto them to be crucified. And they took Yeshua and led him away. Family, don't wonder why Caesar Borgia's image is being worshipped as the king. Don't wonder why. Because my ancestors chose Caesar as their king. I'm done with that, yo. Where we at? That was the script of the week. John 19. John 19, the first 16 verses. Took a little minute. A bunch of explaining, but anyway, the letter of the week this week, just for the purposes of moving forward, man. The letter of the week this week is Aleph. Right back to the beginning of the of the Hebrew alphabet, or the alphabet according to my ancestors. We're right back at the beginning from the top, and we're going to continue to, like I said, just revisit all the letters as we go along. This is going to be our third time going over the Hebrew alphabet. This is our third go around, and all praises to the Most, man. We're gonna keep going. When we get to Tav once again, we're gonna, in 22 weeks when we get to Tav, we're gonna start back again from Aleph. Anyway, Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It is a silent letter. Aleph is a vowel. Ayin is a vowel as well. Yod, I believe, is intermittently a vowel. Like sometimes Y, even in the English alphabet, sometimes Y. And they say that there are no alphabets in Hebrew, which is not true. It's that you don't pronounce them, or they're interchangeable. Aleph, you can pronounce Aleph A-E-I-O-U, right? You can pronounce Ayin A-E-I-O-U. Anyway, but that's just how it goes. There's no like set vowels, but there are vowels that exist in the Hebrew alphabet. Letters that don't have any sound at all. And once again, Aleph, Ayin, and yod intermittently, and in certain instances yod is an example of this. But let's get to this week's letter of the week, which is the letter Aleph. Aleph is, according to my ancestors, is equal to the number 1. It is silent, doesn't make a sound, and Aleph is represented or symbolized by an ox or a bull, and also means that. So whatever I've said the symbol or the representative for each letter is, it's also a definition or a form of that definition as well. So Aleph is symbolized by an ox and also means ox or bull. It also means gentle, means tame, it means the leader, strength, it means what is first, it means Adonai, it means 1,000, and it means teach. So all these various definitions are what Aleph means according to my ancestors. All right? And Aleph being the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, or equal to the number 1, is not for the purposes of counting, as I've stated many times. But let's go to the actual definition of Aleph, right? And it's in the Bible in Psalm 119 from verse 1 to verse 8. And according to the Most High, according to God, Aleph means, blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Most High Yahweh. I don't think that describes an ox, or being gentle or tame, or even being a leader, because many of our leaders are not undefiled individuals in the way, right? Anyway, let's keep reading. Verse 2, blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart. Once again, this is not about any type of animal or you being in a leadership position. This is about you, everybody, seeking and trying to get as close to the Most High as they possibly can. One step closer every day is better than nothing. It's better than no steps, right? Many of us want to take 10 or 20 or 100 steps a day, but one step every day. Once again, when you go back to your lexicon, you're not getting the connotation. You're not getting the same type of vibe from the lexicon and from the Bible, right? And I want to make it extremely clear that if you get that type of vibe, cool. And if that brings you closer to the Most High, all praises, because that's what the goal is. However, for me personally, it doesn't match up, and I can't sit here and say yes, it does, right? I would be lying. Verse 3. I apologize. Verse 3. They also do. Matter of fact, let me start that all over from the beginning. Psalm 119, verse 1. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Most High Yahweh. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart. They also do no iniquity. They walk in his ways. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Oh, that my way was directed to keep thy statutes. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. I will praise thee with uprightness of heart when I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. I will keep thy statutes, O Most High Yahweh. Forsake me not utterly. Once again, fam, if you can see an ox or a bull, or gentle, being gentle or tame in there, or even a leader or strength, what is first? 1,000. Fam, if you see that, then make the connections and get closer to God. From my perspective, my ancestors and God are saying two completely different things about the definition of the letter Aleph. And when someone asks what the definition of that letter is, please respond Psalm 119, verse 1 through 8, and don't say ox and strong leader until after you've said these 8 verses out of this chapter. All praises to the Most High. That was the letter of the week, Aleph, from the top. starting the alphabet from the top. Excuse me. And now let's get back to the chronology. Last week, or not even last week, I apologize. 2 weeks ago, we didn't do a lot of reading. We read Genesis 10. Then we got into Jubilees, chapter 8, chapter 9, and I believe in chapter 10, the first 5 verses. We did a good amount of reading, 3 chapters and change. That's cool. So Genesis 10, then we got to Jubilees 8, 9, and 10, but we only got to the first 5 verses, and because the video cut off. I was having technical difficulties beginning from then. Honestly, they kind of carried on into last week, and hopefully I've rectified it so that this will be not only just recorded but uploaded as well. But that's what we read 2 weeks ago, and we read about Canaan, who was one of the children of Shem. I believe he was one of Arpachshad's sons, right? Along with Selah, who's Eber's father, and then Selah had Eber. But Canaan and Selah are brothers, and Canaan is one of Arpachshad's sons, and Canaan found one of the writings of the Watchers, and Canaan was using that writing of the that writing of the Watchers contained evil information about the stars, because the information that we already had came from Enoch, and we already had all the information that we needed as far as the observation of the sun, moon, and stars in order to calculate time, and also in order to calculate other things as well, like good planting seasons and reaping seasons. Like you get an almanac from the righteous observation of the stars. So from proper observation of the stars, you can make an almanac. An almanac is something that's been in use for a long time. People have been using almanacs, and there's only one. There's not only one almanac, but the way that an almanac is prepared is actually by observing the sun, moon, and stars on certain days. Benjamin Banneker was an expert at this. Matter of fact, Benjamin Banneker, when he was alive, he had an almanac that outsold the Bible at that time, which is amazing. First of all, the Bible is the best-selling book on the planet, period. Hands down. The Most High is the greatest author ever. You heard me? God is the greatest author ever. The Bible is the best-selling book on the planet, hands down. There is no book that even comes close to the Bible. But while Benjamin Banneker was alive in the 1800s, Benjamin Banneker is the individual who laid out the plans for Washington, D.C., which is also lined up with many celestial bodies, by the way. Benjamin Banneker was a genius. But Benjamin Banneker, he was able to observe the stars and create an almanac. Benjamin Banneker produced an almanac that was so accurate, it was literally the best-selling book in the United States of America. Did you know that? There was a best-selling black author way before the New York's bestseller list? The New York Times bestseller list, man? Benjamin Banneker was a prolific author of the almanac. He didn't write books, he wrote almanacs on a yearly basis, and they were extremely accurate and outsold the Bible at that time. And once again, he did that by observing the stars. That is the proper observation of the stars, right? And the improper observation of the stars is in order for you to do astrology, horoscopes, whatever observation you're doing to tell the future, quote unquote. I'm putting up air quotes. You can't really see them. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't no video. But quote unquote, tell the future, right? Or astrologically break down some type of particular information based on, you were born on this date and the moon was here and the sun was there and this is what your life is going to be like and so on and so forth. There's no plans in that as far as God is concerned. That's Watcher's information. You understand what I'm saying? God gave you the sun, moon, and stars so you can know what time it is. what seasons are, when they are, and so on and so forth. And the almanac breaks all of that down. When summer, winter, spring, and fall start, the almanac is busting that down. It's busting down the best time to plant, to reap, when it's going to rain. You know, the almanac is breaking all of that down based on the position of the sun, moon, and stars. But once again, Canaan was an individual who came into knowledge of the sun, moon, and stars information that the Watchers were bearing out, and I believe that is astrology and horoscopy and things like that, things of that nature. We also learned that the sons of Noah split the earth. Well, not split the earth like split it literally, but split it figuratively, meaning splitting the earth between themselves as brothers. The sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their sons split the earth between each other. They divided the earth into lots and had their lot, Ham's lot, Shem's lot, Japheth's lot, and so on and so forth. And they split it between their sons. All right, and I believe, once again, the land of South America was a part of Ham's lot, and I believe going across Asia, going over the Bering Sea, right into Alaska and the northern parts of Canada, the western parts of Canada, I apologize, on down into the north and western parts of the United States of America belong to Japheth. That's why you get these Inuit and Eskimo, quote unquote, individuals from. Those are Japhetic peoples. But when you go down into South America, it's a more Hamitic influence, because it's easier for you to travel from West Africa into South America than for you to travel from Europe into West Africa. It's also easier for you to travel from Asia to Alaska and the Polynesians, right? To Alaska and Canada, than it is for you to travel, let's say, from Asia to India in certain respects. So, excuse me. So, the splitting of the earth, once again, was a division between the division of lots between the sons of Noah, right? This week we want to continue right along that time frame and time period. I want to start all the way back over in Jubilees 10, but first I want to read the 7th chapter of Jasher, because not just the 7th chapter, not the whole 7th chapter, excuse me, but the first 29 verses, because I don't want us to lose our place in Jasher. We've already gotten a little bit past where we would have been in Jasher, so we're already discussing Arpachshad and Selah and Eber, right? And Jasher is just going to bring us back a little bit to second witness the things that were in the Bible that we already read out of Genesis. I believe Genesis chapter 10. Yeah. So the things that we already read in Genesis chapter 10, we just want to restate these things from Jasher chapter 7, and then we're going to go back into Jubilees and 10 and read Jubilees 10. So Jasher chapter 7, we're going to read the first 29 verses, and they read on this wise. And these are the names of the sons of Noah, Japheth, Ham, and Shem, and the children were, children were born to them after the flood, for they had taken wives before the flood. So Shem, Ham, and Japheth had wives before the flood. None of them had children till after the flood. All of these children are born after the flood. And verse 2, these are the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras, 7 sons. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Rephath, and Togarmah. Where it says Ashkenaz here, this is not the wish who call themselves Jews this day, who call themselves Ashkenazi Jew. These are not the same people. Okay, completely different people. Because if these were those people, then those people got off the ark, right? And these Ashkenazis are melanated peoples, the melanated sons of Japheth, Ashkenaz. The Ashkenazis now are not the same people. But anyway, let's get back to this reading. Verse 4. The sons of Magog, Elisaneth, Lubal, and the children of Madai were Acon, Zelo, Shazoni, and Lot. And the sons of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, Chittim, and Dodanim. The sons of Tubal were Arifi, Kesed, and Taari. The sons of Meshech were Dedan, Zeron, and Shabashani. The sons of Tirash were Bened, Gera, Lupirion, and Galek. These are the sons of Japheth, according to their families, and their number in those days were about 460 men. That's not a lot. And you're talking about the lot being split between the sons and their sons and so on and so forth. So there's only about 460 individuals at this particular time. So you're talking about you're talking about Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their sons, right? That's all. Shem, Ham, Japheth, their sons, and it's Japheth, just his family, his sons and his sons' sons. They're about 460 of them. Okay. These are the sons of Ham: Cush, Mitzrayim, Phut, and Canaan. 4 sons. Japheth had 7 sons, and they only had 460 men right now. Let's keep reading. 4 sons, and the sons of Cush: Sheba, Havilah, Sapta, Ramah, Satika. The sons of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Mizraim were Lud, Anam, Pathros, Kathlos, Kaphtor. The sons of Phut were Gebo, Hadan, Bina, Adan. The sons of Canaan were Zidon, Heth, Amori, Girgashi, Hivi or Hivi, Arki, Seni, Arodi, Zimodi, and Shimoti. And these are the sons of Ham according to their families, and their number in those days were about 730 men. So the same time Japheth only got 460 men in his whole family, Ham and them is getting busy because they got 730 men already. That's almost double Japheth. Let's see how many men Shem has. These are the sons of Shem: Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram. 5 sons. Shem and Japheth got more children than Ham, but for some reason, by the time Shem, Ham, and Japheth all have grandchildren or great-grandchildren, Ham is outnumbering both of these nations by at least by one almost by double. The Hamites are about to outnumber the Shemites almost 3 times, 4 times as much as them. Man, let's get to it. Let's read it. Verse 18. Excuse me. No, I apologize. So verse 15 from the top. These are the sons of Shem: Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram. 5 sons. And the sons of Elam were Shushan, Mukal, and Harmon. The sons of Asher were Mirus, Mukil, and the sons of Arpachshad were Selah, Anor, Ashkal. The sons of Lud were Pethor, Bezayon. The sons of Aram were Uz, Kul, Gasher, and Mash. These are the sons of Shem according to their families and their numbers, and their numbers in those days were about 300 men. It's only 300 men in Shem. It's only 450 men in Japheth. It's 730 dudes in Ham. Bruh. Ham is getting that. Ham is doing a lot of hip swiveling. Verse 19. These are the generations of Shem. Shem begat Arpachshad. Arpachshad begat Shelah. Shelah begat Eber. And to Eber were born 2 children. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days the sons of men were divided, and in the latter days the earth was divided. So another testament that's telling you that in the days of Peleg was when the lot of the earth was divided among these sons, because the sons of men themselves were not getting along. The sons of men themselves were divided. Let's continue. Verse 20. And the name of the second was Yoktan, meaning that in his days the lives of the sons of men were diminished and lessened. Meaning nobody's living to be 400 or 500 and 600 years old anymore. Right? Noah lived to be 800 and change. No, 900 and change. Because he lived to be 600 and then 350 years after the flood. When he was 600, the flood happened. And he lived 350 years after that. Noah lived to be 950 years old. Shem also lived to be 800 and change. Eber lived to be, I believe, 400 or 500 and change. These men were living hundreds and hundreds of years. But in the days of Yoktan, the Most High was like, let's make it about 300, 250. Abraham only lived to be $175. The Most High was like, yeah, let's bring their lifespan down a lot. Verse 22, and Peleg, his brother, begat Yen. Yen begat Sirach. Sirach begat Nahor. Nahor begat Terah. And Terah was 38 years old, and he begat Haran and Nahor. Listen to this. Let me make this specific point as well. I believe I made it in the lesson prior. The fact that the order of Melchizedek lineage passed from Shem to Eber is easy to recognize, because every testament says clearly who was teaching the order of Melchizedek when Abraham went to go learn, or when Isaac went to go learn, even when Jacob went to go learn. Who taught Jacob? And when was Eber, and when Eber died, how much it touched Jacob, right? They made a point of that in Genesis to tell you that Eber died and how Jacob felt about Eber's death, because Eber was the one who carried on that order of Melchizedek lineage from Shem. We didn't, our Pakshad didn't pick it up, neither did Shelah, because we don't call ourselves Arpakshadites, nor do we call ourselves Shelahites or Salites or Salaistas or whatever you want to call yourself as a son of Selah or as a son of Arpakshad. But we make sure everybody know we sons of Shem. We make sure everybody know we Hebrew, we sons of Eber. We make sure everybody knows that we are sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That blood-bought lineage. Everybody got to know that. Why are these men so important though? How come we don't know? We don't know nothing about the importance of these men truly. Why they are the patriarchs, right? How come you don't call yourself, let's go after Eber, right? How come you don't call yourself Eber's son, what was Eber's son? Yen. You don't call yourself a Yenite. You don't call yourself a Saraghite. You don't call yourself a son of Nahor or Terah. Or you don't call yourself none of these children. But you definitely call yourself one of the sons of Terah's sons, Abraham. You call yourself a son of Abraham with the quickness. But why you don't call yourself a son of Terah? Why you don't call yourself a son of Serug or Nahor or Yen? Why not? My stance is that none of these men carried on the Melchizedek lineage. None of these men voluntarily went to go learn under Shem. I believe Eber voluntarily went to go learn under Shem. I believe Abraham loved learning under Shem and Eber. Sent his son Isaac, who loved to learn under Shem and Eber. Sent his son Jacob, who loved to learn under Eber. They had brothers. Ishmael was supposed to go learn. He didn't want to. He's a man that he liked to go play with his bow and arrow. Esau was sent to go learn. He didn't want to. He liked to go play with his sword. Well, so listen, you can send your child to school if they're gonna graduate. It's on them to really focus and learn. You know what I mean? So I don't doubt that our Pakshad learned the ways of Melchizedek, but he didn't carry it forth. He wasn't a propellant. He wasn't a perpetuator of that particular order. I believe he liked to follow Canaan's information concerning the stars and astrology and horoscopes and so on. And so you feel me? Because that's what Torah was involved in. Like if you look at this, matter of fact, let's get to it. I'm explaining too much. I wanted to read. Let's get back to this reading. Please just keep it in your mind though, how you know who we call ourselves the son of, and how the lineage is actually set up. You know, we talk about the lineage of these men because that's the lineage of Christ. Like Jesus Christ came from all, you know, this man coming from that man coming from that man. It goes all the way down to Jesus Christ, so we can follow the lineage through Mary and through Joseph. I just want us to be specific. I just want to point out specifically who the patriarchs in this lineage is and why. Right? Terah is in the lineage. He ain't no patriarch. Serug is in the lineage, not a patriarch. Yen is in the lineage, not a patriarch. Arpachshad in the lineage, not a patriarch. All right, let's get back to this reading. Yeah, verse 23. And Cush, the son of Ham, the son of Noah, took a wife in those days in his old age, and she bare him a son, and they called his name Nimrod, saying, at that time the sons of men again began to rebel and transgress against the Most High Yahweh. And the child grew up, and his father loved him exceedingly, for he was the son of his old age. Matter of fact, I don't want to go any further than this. I was going to go up to 29 and talk about the garments that Adam and Eve were given, but that could come up when we get down to the days of Nimrod. We haven't gotten down there yet. I just wanted us to get back into the lineage concerning a second witness to Genesis 10, right? And we're going to stop at 23. We're going to stop at verse 23, all right? And we're gonna get back into the garments and so on and so forth, that Nimrod war, on a different occasion, because we ain't get up to Nimrod yet. So that's Jasher chapter 7, 1 through 23. Now I want to read Jubilees chapter 10. I want to read the whole Jubilees chapter 10, and that's going to be all the reading we're going to do for today. Not much reading at all, right? Jubilees chapter 10 reads on this wise. And in the 3rd week of this Jubilees, the unclean demons began to lead astray the children of the sons of Noah. So once again, we are back to the days of Arpachshad and Arpachshad's son Selah. I don't even believe we're up to the days of Eber yet. In the 3rd week of this Jubilees, the unclean demons began to lead astray the children of the sons of Noah. So now you know that, yes, the Watchers survived the flood, and also the spirits of the giants also survived the flood. We're going to get specific information on that a little bit later. But let's just keep reading for now, just for the purposes of reading. All right? Excuse me. And to make to and to destroy them. And the sons of Noah came to Noah their father, and they told him concerning the demons which were leading astray and blinding and slaying his sons' sons. Right? So this is Noah's grandbabies. Noah's already teaching the law, statutes, and commandments to everybody. So Noah's grandbabies, meaning Noah, Shem, we in the days of who now? Arpachshad, and even you could say maybe Arpachshad's baby Selah, right? Okay, so and also realize Arpachshad's brother is Canaan, who got this wicked information out here. So yeah, if he's out here messing with astrology and whatnot, you're definitely gonna be calling, you're gonna be summoning particular entities using that type of information, right? You're summoning these beings, which would be a good reason. You see why they now are feasting on these men. But let's keep reading. The sons of Noah came to Noah their father, and they told him concerning the demons which were leading astray and blinding and slaying his sons. And he prayed before the Most High Yahweh his power and said, O Most High Yahweh, the power of the spirits of all flesh, who has shown mercy unto me and has saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and has not caused me to perish as thou didst the sons of perdition. For thy grace hath been great toward me, and great hath been thy mercy to my soul. Let thy grace be lift up upon my sons, and let not wicked spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from the earth. But do thou bless me and my sons, that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. And thou knowest how thy watchers, the father of these spirits, acted in my day. And as for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, and let them not bring destruction on the sons of thy servant, my power, the Most High Yahweh. For these are malignant and created in order to destroy. Hallelujah. And let them not rule over the spirits of the living, for thou alone canst exercise dominion over them. And let them not have power over the sons of the righteous from henceforth and forevermore. All praises to the Most High. Yo, fam, now you know really how serious Yeshua was when he was coming out here casting out demons and devils and whatnot. Wasn't nobody doing that, because nobody doesn't have the authority or power or the ability to complete that type of task. Noah is acknowledging this from literally post-flood, like a couple hundred years after the flood. Noah's like, yo, the only one who has any type of power to combat these entities is you, God. So when Yeshua came down here doing what he was doing and was still being doubted by everyone in his nation, man, going back to John 19, fam, this is another, the dude came, the Messiah, salvation and redemption in the flesh came completing tasks impossible for any man to do. And we still ain't believing. Man, that makes me so sad. That make me, man, that is sad. That is sad, yo. Verse 7. And the Most High Yahweh, our power, bade us to bind all. This is an angel when you say the Most High bade us to bind. Once again, we're reading the book of Jubilees. The book of Jubilees is the angel Gabriel narrating to Moses his past, present, and future. And he's telling Moses about his past right now. Telling Moses about the days of Noah. This is the angel Gabriel telling Moses, yo, we were told to bind all the evil spirits on earth. All of the watchers and their offspring. We was going to bind all of them. How come they ain't all bound though? Let's read why. Verse 8. And the chief of the spirits, Mastema, the devil, came and said, O Most High Yahweh. What did the devil call God? Most High. Creator. Let some of them remain before me. The devil just addressed God as God's supposed to be addressed. How does man think he could front on the Most High, who the devil don't even play with, man? Anyway, verse 8 from the top. And the chief of the spirits, Mastema, the devil, came and said, O Most High Yahweh, Creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them hearken to my voice, and do all that I shall say unto them. For if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men. For these are for corruption and leading astray before my judgment. For great is the wickedness of the sons of men. So the devil's like, yo, how am I supposed to do my job if I don't got no employees? Basically, yo, God, if you lock us all up, how are we supposed to lead astray the wicked ones? How are you going to know that there's wheat and tares around here? How are you going to know the tares from the wheat? We got to lead astray these tares so you can recognize the wheat. Holy Father, Creator. Yo, this is the devil talking, yo. You hear me? Anyway, verse 9, and he said, the Most High, Yah said, let the 10th part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. Whoa! So you have a place of torment where 90% of the evil spirits and devils that were tormenting men at this time are bound to. Does that sound familiar to you? A place of torment where there's a whole bunch of devils waiting to torture you until Judgment Day? Because the Most High is saying, yeah, man, make that place right now. Send them down there right now. Matter of fact, the place is already made. We heard about it in the book of Enoch. It was an empty place until now. Remember that empty place that we read in the book of Enoch? It ain't empty no more. Let's get back to this reading. Excuse me. And one of us, he commanded that we should teach Noah all their medicines, for he knew that they would not walk in uprightness nor strive in righteousness. You hear that? This is our issue as human beings. We don't walk in uprightness or strive in righteousness. Therefore, we need physical things to combat these evil spirits. Noah was taught certain fixes for certain issues. Let me give you an example. In the book of Tobit, an angel came and told Tobit, yo, you need to go fishing and take the liver from this fish, smoke it on the coals, and when the evil spirit smells that fish's liver burning, he gonna bounce. Noah had a book full of things like that. Oh, this is how you get this spirit to go away, this is how you get that spirit to go away, so on and so forth. Because men are not living in uprightness and righteousness. So we need, concoctions to assist us. Verse 11. And we did according to all his words. All the malignant evil ones we bound in the place of condemnation, and 1/10 part of them we left, that they might be subject before Satan on the earth. This is very clear right here in the book of Jubilees. Very clear as to exactly what's going on here on this earth. There's 1/10 part of the demons on this earth that's just out here tormenting mankind to the best of their ability. But fam, you get down in them crevices of condemnation, it's 90% of them waiting on you down there. Once you get off that highway to hell, that last exit, oh, woo-hoo-hoo, they waiting on you. They waiting. Let's get back to this reading. Verse 12. And we explained to Noah all the medicines of their diseases, together with their seductions, how he might heal them with herbs of the earth. And Noah wrote down all things in a book, as we instructed him concerning every kind of medicine. Thus the evil spirits were precluded from hurting the sons of Noah. Excuse me. Yo, the Most High allowed the devils and demons. Say, yeah, man, I'm gonna allow y'all go ahead and wreak all the havoc you want. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. Whoa. I haven't even eaten anything all day. Anyway, go be out here wreaking all the havoc that you want. But I'm always gonna give my people righteous remedies. I'm gonna give them a way out of all of everything that you can do to them. There's always salvation through the Most High for anything the devil got to throw at you. Don't matter what. Let's keep reading though. Verse 14. And he gave all that he had written to Shem, his eldest son, and he gave all, for he loved him exceedingly above all his sons. All praises to the Most High Yahweh. But you see how, once again, this information being passed down from father to son. I'm sure Shem didn't give it to Arpachshad. He might have told him about it, but as far as the keeping of that book was given directly to Eber from Shem. Trust me. Shem didn't give that book to Arpachshad, and Arpachshad gave it to Peleg, and Arpachshad gave it to Selah, and then Selah gave it to Eber. Nah, son. No. Let's keep reading. Verse 15. And Noah slept with his father and was buried on Mount Lubar in the land of Ararat. 950 years, hallelujah, he completed in his life. 19 jubilees and 2 weeks and 5 years. If you was counting jubilees, Noah only lived to be 19 years old. But if you're counting years, bro, that's 950 years. It's only 19 jubilees, though. He's only a teenager, man. Huh? Noah couldn't even drink, man. Verse 17. And in his life on earth, he excelled the children of men, save Enoch, because of the righteousness wherein he was perfect. For Enoch's office was ordained for a testimony to the generations of the world, so that he should recount all the deeds of generation unto generation till the day of judgment. You hear that? Enoch up there writing records. Verse 18. And in the 3 and 30th Jubilee, in the first year, in the second week, Peleg took to himself a wife, whose name was Lamna, the daughter of Sinar. And she bare him a son in the 4th year of this week, and he called his name Reu. For he said, Behold, the children of men have become evil through the wicked purpose of building for themselves a city and a tower in the land of Shinar. Into a problem here. But once again, Peleg got a child. His child's name is Reu, and this is the reason why this is happening. However, I have to take issue with this verse, because this verse says that these people started to build the tower in the land of Shinar. We already know that's the Tower of Babel, and that tower's construction was under Nimrod. Nimrod's leadership brought forth that Tower of Babel. So they couldn't have been building it in the days of Peleg, because Peleg had Reu had it's way too early in the days of Peleg. You're right. We didn't get to Yen or Sirug or Nahor or Terah. Right. We didn't get to any of Abraham's ancestors yet to even get up to the days of Abraham, because in the days of Terah is when the tower was actually being built. Terah and Nimrod are homeboys. Terah is the captain of Nimrod's entire army. Right. Terah leads Nimrod's army. Terah and Nimrod are cool, right? But so the building of the Tower of Babel, as it is stated right here in the book of Jubilees, is a bit premature, being stated as happening in the days of Peleg, or even in the days of Peleg's son Reu, right? It would have to be way down into Terah's day when you get to Nimrod. But let's get to reading. Let's continue reading. Verse 19. For they departed from the land of Ararat eastward to Shinar, for in his days they built the city and the tower, saying, Go, let us ascend thereby into heaven. Unless this is a different Tower of Babel, right? Unless there are 2 iterations of the Tower of Babel, one being built in the days of Peleg and maybe continued by Nimrod, I don't know, or a second one being built by Nimrod. But Jubilees is talking about a tower that sound very much like the Tower of Babel, but it's being spoken of a little bit prematurely for the chronology. But let's keep reading. Verse 20. And they began to build, and in the 4th week they made brick with fire, and the bricks served them for stone, and the clay with which they cemented them together was asphalt, which cometh out of the sea, out of the fountains of water in the land of Shinar. And they built it. 43 years were they building it. Its breadth was 203 bricks, and the height of a brick was the third of one. Its height amounted to 5,433 cubits. Can you imagine that? A brick that's 5,433 cubits high. One brick. Good grief. And 2 palms. 5,433 cubits and 2 palms. Can't forget the 2 palms. And the extent of one wall was 13 stadies, and the other 30 stadies. And the Most High Yahweh said unto us, Behold, they are one people, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be withholden from them. Go, let us go down and confound their language, that they might not understand one another's speech, and they may be dispersed into cities and nations, and one purpose will no longer abide with them till the day of judgment. Whoa. Verse 23. The Most High Yahweh descended, and we descended with him to see the city and the tower which the children of men had built. And he confounded their language, and they no longer understood one another's speech, and they ceased then to build the city and the tower. For this reason, the whole land of Shinar is called Babel, because the Most High Yahweh did there confound all the language of their cities, each according to his language and his nation. And the Most High sent a mighty wind against the tower, and overthrew it upon the earth. And behold, it was between Asher and Babylon in the land of Shinar. And they called its name Overthrow. In the 4th week, in the 1st year, in the beginning thereof, in the 34th Jubilee, they dispersed from the land of Shinar. And Ham and his sons went into the land which they were to occupy. Which he was to occupy, which he acquired as his portion in the land of the south. And Canaan saw the land of Lebanon in the river of Egypt, that it was very good, and he went not into his land, into the land of his inheritance, to the west, that is to the sea, and he Canaan was supposed to dwell in the land that was west to the sea? What land is that? If you in Africa, you go all the way west as far as you could go west, which Canaan's land was, the westernmost part, it's say past the sea. If you keep going west past the sea, you're in South America. Was that where Canaan was supposed to be? Hold up. Let's get back to this reading. It's all good. Let's just talk about where Canaan ended up. I don't want to speculate as to where he should have been, but where he ended up was in Semitic land, which this book is called, which Jubilee says is Lebanon, right? The land of Canaan that we all know, we've all come to know as the land of Canaan, never belonged to Canaan in the first place. It was the lot of Shem, and it was supposed to go to the sons of Shem. However, Canaanites took the land over. Let's read about it. Let's read about it. Verse 29. Canaan saw the land of Lebanon to the river of Egypt, that it was very good, and he went not into the land of his inheritance to the west, to the sea. And he dwelt in the land of Lebanon eastward and westward from the border of Jordan and from the border of the sea. and Ham his father, and Cush and Mitzrayim